Hello, my beautiful friends, and welcome back to the channel. In today's Pick a Card, we are just channeling messages directly from basically your spirit guides, sometimes archangels if they come through, and really just even like sometimes past loved ones will come through. But I just wanted to get a message for you and just kind of see where you currently are, anything they want to tell you. And I actually did put some romance cards in this one as well, which is something I don't do very often, but I was feeling like there might be a romance message in there for some of you. So if you are familiar with Pick a Cards, this is going to be pile 1, this is 2, and this is 3. And you can go ahead and head to the timestamps now if you want to just jump right ahead. If you need a little bit of an explanation, just stick around with me for a moment. So if you're unsure of how to choose, the two things I always like to say is, number one, you are never going to choose wrong. So even if it's just a couple of cards in the pile that resonate, you are meant to have that specific message. Most of the time it is the entire pile, and for some people it's multiple piles. Some people like to watch the entire video from start to finish and then choose after the fact which one resonated the most. So the most important thing to know is just trust yourself, trust your intuition, know that you cannot choose wrong, and know that these cards also do not define your fate. If there is any future projections that come out of these, you always have the ability to change your energetic field and what you're attracting at any given moment. I am just reading off of the current energies that are here. Now, we also do intention candles on the channel if you're new here. So pile 1 has a green candle, pile 2 has a pink candle, and pile 3 has a yellow candle. Those were all picked intuitively. So I think it's really cool that they came out as like very spring colors when that wasn't even my intention. But that is what we got. So I'm going to go ahead and quiet up now for y'all for a little bit, turn up the music, and allow you to have some time to meditate with the card piles and make a choice, and then head to those timestamps or watch all the way through, whatever you feel called to, and we'll get to it. All right, pile number 1. If you chose this pile, you chose the green candle, and maybe it's because I'm a Taurus, so I love green. It's not necessarily my favorite color, but I would say it ranks pretty high for me. But green is the color that represents abundance, financial prosperity. It can also represent growth, as it does resemble the element of earth. So this is also going to be your earth signs. This is Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. You might find that your sun, moon, or rising is one of those, or that you're wanting to attract a sign of that caliber. So not necessarily if that doesn't speak to you. There are plenty of things that green stand in for. To me, most often though, in like candle magic, intention candle setting, it usually has to do with financial abundance. So if you are looking for more of that in your life at this time, this is a good time to set some intention for that to manifest into your life. So what I will ask you to do is take your left and right hands, and you can either put both of them over your heart, because when we connect to our heart center or the energy of the heart chakra and we set an intention, it actually brings it in the perfect alignment to us, because love is the highest vibrational frequency that we as humans can attune our energy points to. And the heart chakra is the conduit that actually is the center point of the lower 3 chakras and the upper 3 chakras. So you can place your hands over your left and right hearts, or your left and right heart. What am I even saying? I'm so sorry. It's not even Mercury retrograde. Over your left and right hands over your hearts. Or I also really like putting one over my heart and one over my stomach area, mostly because as we take this deep belly breath on our intention in, you can really feel your belly expand, just to know that you're getting that deep life force breath in. So either way, but we're actually going to take 3 deep breaths in. So in through the nose, out through the mouth. And I want you to focus on that thing that you want to bring in. If it is money, literally think about money. What does it smell like? What does it feel like? What does it look like? Or imagine yourself in first person looking at your bank statements, looking and seeing bigger numbers. If it's, growth in your life, whatever area that could be in, see yourself. The thing that I really want to highlight for you is when you are doing the envisioning process, you want to do it in first person. Don't look at yourself in third person. Look down at your hands, look at your feet. You are embodying this and feeling the emotions that it draws out in you, and get excited for it. That's a big part of it, is feeling those feelings of excitement of what you're going to do when the growth, the money, the earth sign comes in basically. So let's go ahead and place your hands wherever they feel comfortable. The suggestions I gave are merely just suggestions, but do what feels correct for you. And we're going to go in through the nose, out through the mouth on that intention. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, one more. All right, and we're going to go ahead and light this baby up and see what happens. All right, so the wick definitely kind of churned in towards itself, which does not always happen. I find when that happens, we definitely need to focus more on the inward self as you're kind of bringing this intention in, whatever it might be. You really need to focus more on the inner work. It's saying that there's really nothing outside of you that is currently missing. And I know, especially when we talk about abundance, I know from my own personal experience as well, that when we focus on abundance, if we don't currently have it or don't feel like we have it, it can be hard to change the inner world when the outer world doesn't really feel like it's in agreement with us. But I promise, just doing something small each day, keeping a promise to yourself each day, and really making, like, even if it's just a quick affirmation in the morning or a visualization at night, keeping some kind of promise to yourself on this will really make a big difference, especially when you feel like you don't know where to start. So we're going to go ahead and put this up here in the corner for us so we can still keep our eye on it. And let's see what the cards have in store. So first and foremost, we have, actually, let me just take these top 4 cards. We have the Ace of Pentacles, which I love that for you. Right off the bat, we're seeing material gain. We have the 8 of Pentacles. That's even more material gain. The 9 of Pentacles, even, oh my gosh, this is like all a money reading. And the King of Cups. Oh my goodness. This is so beautiful. Okay, so let me go ahead and set these up for you so we can kind of get a nice good look at all of them together. So first and foremost, I feel like Spirit really wants you to know that the only thing you need to do is kind of what I just told you. Is you really only need to focus on that is your internal world. Because the King of Cups being present with all of this big earth money energy, which we'll talk about those, but the King of Cups is what I want to speak about first, because to me, the King of Cups represents you. This represents you having a very calm exterior and interior. This represents you being calm around money. I feel like many of you maybe haven't felt that. Like maybe your money, you spend a lot of it really quickly, and so you feel like you never have any, or there's like a lot of fear-based mentality around money, which, to be honest with you, I do feel like our society and our cultures, not all of them, I can only speak to my own culture personally, but the culture in which I exist, I feel like it very much or the media is a better way to put that. It very much perpetuates this, it's like spend, 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 spend. and there's really no calm going on. And I feel like that's really what you're being asked to cultivate at this time, is really getting right with yourself first. And that is where you will see the large Marge changes, because the Ace of Pentacles here tells me that you're going to find money literally in the last place you look for it. Because look at this beautiful witch here. We have them under this beautiful shining sun. Their cat is really close by, and it almost looks like, is that another pentacle right there? It's not. It's a water dish. Okay. That's funny though, because water to me really calls back to our king over here. That is a water card. But the Ace of Pentacles, it almost looks like maybe they were out on this beautiful ride, enjoying the beautiful rays of sunshine, and they saw something shining down in the grass. So they jumped off their broom and were like, oh my goodness, look at this. I found gold where I never would have expected to find it. So I feel like that's really what is going to be happening for you, is the more you get into this state of inner calm, and it's going to take work. It's called work because it's work. If you do not already have peace around money, especially if you've been taught by even your own family members, mentors, the school system, whatever it is, even if you've been taught, really early on from others to kind of fear money, or that there was never enough, or you couldn't afford this, it takes time to work through those things. We might think that those things are really insignificant. Like, have you ever been with your mother or father or a relative and seen their card get declined when you were like checking out with them or something? That can cause us, especially when we're really young and we can't comprehend yet what is happening, because our minds literally just don't have the ability yet because we're children. That can cause us immediately to fear money, especially if the parent or the person that you were with set that kind of precedent around money, or around any kind of abundance. It could literally be any kind of personal growth abundance. I'm using money as a specific example because I feel that money is really what Spirit wants me to focus on. But that can leave a lasting impression. It can seem really insignificant, but when we talk about quote unquote doing the work, with like shadow work, diving into the self, changing the outcome for yourself, that's the work that we're highlighting. It's that deep inner work of, where do these beliefs about money in my life come from, and how can I transmute them into something better for myself? And a really good thing that you can do is show yourself the evidence. Show yourself why those things aren't true. Think about how many people every day check out at grocery stores or order online and have more than enough money to spend to take care of themselves and can afford it. That should just be proof to you that it's always going to be possible for you, because there is enough to go around. We have just made a society that doesn't believe that for some reason, or we've made it to where certain resources get limited. And I am not the best person to speak on this, to be honest, but I really do believe that there is enough in this world to go around, and there is unfortunately selfish, greedy people that don't necessarily want to make that a reality. And I do believe that we are fighting back against that. I do believe that we're coming to a place now where we as humans are up-leveling our consciousness collectively, and we're understanding that, oh my gosh, I do have so much power. So, anywho, going on to the Eight of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles, the wealth that is coming towards you, if you are able to practice this inner calm, is astronomical. Maybe wealth that you've never even seen before in your lifetime or in generations around you. You might be like the first person in a long line to actually make it, quote unquote, and make it look effortless and teach others that it's possible. Because the Eight of Pentacles is getting good at something. And to me, this is all about getting good at accumulating wealth. And it's not about making smart financial decisions. It's that once you kind of hack the system, hack your own system when it comes to attracting abundance, it gets easier and easier and easier to keep doing it. Again, I also know that from personal experience, especially, and I've talked about this a lot on my podcast. If you're curious and want to know more about what I'm talking about, my podcast, Authentic and Unapologetic, links down below. It's available everywhere. We've done several episodes on dismantling limiting money beliefs. And I talk a lot about my own money story and how I lived in basically a state of poverty for almost 10 years and how I've really worked to overcome that and I've seen it transform. So, that to me, I feel like is really what you're coming up into. And then with the Nine of Pentacles, this is going to be a big one for some of you, I think. Spirit is really saying that like many of you just feel like you're going to have to work so hard. And that's part of the reason that like money maybe has a hard time finding its way to you is you have a fear that you're going to have to work until you die in order to actually accumulate the wealth that you're looking for. And Spirit is saying absolutely not. You are going to be able to accumulate this to such a point that you will be much like the Nine of Pentacles, which is this beautiful witch sitting, chilling with her cat, reading a book, having a glass of wine. She's literally having her cake and eating it too. And that's the energy that you're calling into your life. So beautiful. We love a financial blessing message. Okay, now let's go ahead and look at some of the astrology cards. So we have step out of your comfort zone. We have nothing will come of this situation. And we have a fiery climax approaches with the full moon in Aries. So something I want to tell you right now, pile number one, is we have a new moon in Aries coming up. I want to say it's on the 11th of April in tropical astrology. Whatever intention you set with this new moon in Aries, and I am planning a special event for this that I don't want to give too many details until it's more set in stone, but just keep your eyes peeled, especially on my community tab and on my Instagram for this. I am planning to do a special event that evening that anybody can come to. It'll be free. Like you don't have to buy tickets or anything. It will be virtual, so anybody can come. But with this new moon in Aries that's coming up, whatever intentions you set, expect them to materialize within a 6-month period. Because basically, whenever we set intention with a new moon, it kind of runs in a 6-month cycle. It will go until the full moon. So I want to say when we are in Libra season, you will see a completion of this. You will see your financial situation turn over in that 6-month period. Especially if you're watching this as it is live. If you are watching this like in Libra season, know that that blessing is going to be coming very quickly. Then we have nothing will come of the situation. I feel that many of you might have a fear of finances. I'm hearing some of you also have like a fear of taxes, possibly. Like if I make too much money, I'm going to have to spend all this money on taxes, or there's like a fear. And Spirit is wanting you to understand that whatever you're afraid of, that outcome, you can take this as confirmation that nothing bad is going to happen to you. You are going to be okay. It is safe for you to earn an abundance of money. It's actually in the people that surround you, your communities, and what you can do with that. It's in everyone's best interest. I tell myself this all the time, that it's in my family, friends, and community's best interest for me to become rich. Because if I'm rich, I'm not like the greedy rich people of the world, which do exist. I'm somebody that would spend my money giving more to others, treating others, taking care of others, because that's genuinely what I would want to do. So whatever you're afraid of, know that nothing will come from that. And step out of your comfort zone. I feel like many of you have also been holding yourselves back. Like maybe you've had a really good idea of something that you want to make, but you're like, oh, I don't know. But you literally have everything you need in front of you to do it. You might just have to get a little uncomfortable and push yourself into it. And during this upcoming Aries season will be a good time to start. Aries, if you haven't been feeling the motivation in the air, it's coming. Like especially around the 4th of April, we have Mercury coming into Aries, which hello, Mercury return for me. But we have Mercury coming into the sign of Aries, which is also like having more conversations. You know, we're taking action on the things that we said we would. So I do feel like if you've been wanting to put something out there, especially if you think it will be like a good financial decision, this is the time to do it. Now, we also have for you, I want to pull a couple of romance cards for you. So we have forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in the present moment. So I want to really talk about this in just a second after we look at the other one. We have romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Ooh, okay. This is really interesting because, as many of you know that have been longtime followers of my work or this channel, we don't really do a lot of romantic readings here, mostly because I just personally don't feel like it's my specialty. I'm not someone that I've ever like finding love for me in this lifetime. I'm not trying to like boast or brag, but it wasn't hard for me. Like I got right with myself at like age 16 and found the person, my like soulmate for this lifetime really early on. And so I feel like it's just not my area of expertise because I've never experienced a lot of those feelings of not having that. So I don't do a lot of romance readings, but what I think is so interesting is with forgiving and forgiving and learning, I think somebody maybe hurt you financially, and it could have been somebody that was like a lover that took you for granted, or maybe you've also been sold on this idea that you have to like marry somebody wealthy to be wealthy. And Spirit is really saying like forgive the person that gave you that idea, or forgive the person, and it doesn't mean that what they did was okay. It doesn't give them permission to do it again. Forgiving someone gives you the peace of mind and the freedom to make more space in your life for more abundance of anything. Like I said, it could be an abundance of love, an abundance of wealth, an abundance of spiritual growth, psychic gifts, whatever it is. The more that you forgive and release that energy that's really hard to hold, especially on your heart, the more you make room for the energy that you want to come in. So ask yourself what that came here to teach you, and then move on. Like, and I don't say that lightly because I know how hard that can be when somebody has really gotten in there and done or said some things that they shouldn't have. You know, I'm a Taurus. Like, I feel like something we don't talk about with Tauruses is how easy it is for them to hold a grudge. Like, hello, I'm a Taurus. Like, nice to meet you. I know what that feels like to not want to forgive, but I also know what it feels like on the other end of that when I have started to forgive. And it doesn't always come overnight or easily, but it gives me the peace of mind that I need. And it's more about me. It's not about them. And the next thing we have is romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worthy and worth exploring. I feel like I think some of y'all might actually have a blocked sacral chakra is what I'm hearing. Like also right where my sacral chakra is like is feeling some things. Like it feels very like energetically stuck. Like there's some of you might have a blocked sacral chakra, which it doesn't mean you can't work on it to open it back up. How can I put this? Let's just put it this way. Don't be afraid to explore your own body. Don't be, many people, especially in modern society, are very sexually repressed, and it's something that is so natural and so normal and so a part of our primal makeup as humans that don't be afraid to explore your own body, be it on your own or with someone else. That's something else. Like we don't talk about this enough. And I feel like maybe someday I will do a podcast talking about it, but like the big O, if you know what I'm saying, some of you will know. I'm trying to keep it PG over here, PG-13. But the big O, like you can manifest with that energy. It's huge. It's transformational. They call that like, I don't know which language it is. I don't know if it's like French, Italian, Spanish. I think it might be Spanish. Like the translation of that is the little death. Like it is so transformational that you basically like, it just shoots something up through your energetic vertebrae that you can use that energy to bring new things into your life. So like I said, maybe for the podcast, I feel like I try not to bring those things to YouTube because YouTube loves to demonetize like anything that's not family friendly, I swear. So, just putting it out there, Spirit is really saying like, I thought we were going to get some like more in-depth romantic stuff, but to me, this is all very personal. So we also have for you reconsider, and we have in the near future. So I really like these two cards for you because with reconsider, some of you maybe have had some really fantastic ideas, or you've started a project and then given up on it. And Spirit is actually telling you to circle back. Like maybe it didn't work for you at one time, but it can work for you now. And in the near future, this is just confirming to me that success that you will see from this. Like Gosh, there are so many success stories that prove this correct as well. I have a friend that is like, if I could give you an example without giving names and stuff, because it's their biz. But I have a friend that is in the creative sphere that I admire so much, and I'm so proud of her for doing everything that she has done. But she started on this creative endeavor like, I want to say maybe a couple of years ago. And don't get me wrong, like it was successful, it was doing things, but it just kind of like it never felt correct for her. And she's admitted to this herself. It never really felt correct for her. And now this time around, as she has given it a new try, a new opportunity, and she's done it differently, really more in alignment with herself and her own wants, needs, desires. It has like the things that her original project did, like the numbers and the success that it had, she has hit that in under a year, like going back and trying again, but differently. So and if she's listening to this, she gonna know I'm talking about her. So proud of you, baby. But there's so many countless people's stories that are like that, where they circle back to something that they felt passionately about and it works the second time. Maybe because something about you needed to change or more growth, or you needed to meet a certain person. Like there was just something that spirit was still waiting to give to you. And now is that time to go forth. So the last two cards I have for you are channeled directly from your galactic family. And we have weight of the world, boundaries, let it go. It's not yours to carry. So I feel like this actually goes really in line with our forgiveness card that we pulled over here, forgiving and learning. Your galactic family is also reiterating that same message of you have been carrying way too much. Again, it's not about saying what somebody did to you was okay. It's about you not holding on to that negativity. If you wake up every day and at some point in your day, you're angry about something or angry about something that someone said to you or about you, that is like a clear indication that your energy is suffering. And again, it doesn't make it okay what they did, but it gives you peace if you are able to come to that. If you're able to even set the energetic boundary, because even if you are feeding that energy on a daily basis, that person is getting energy from you still. When we don't, that is something I feel like that isn't talked about enough. And this is why I believe cord cutting and cord cleansing are so important to our energy fields and our energy bodies, is when we don't sever that cord, even if we're thinking about someone in a negative way, we're still feeding them our energy. They're still taking from us, even if we're not physically speaking to them. So it really is in your best interest. And we also have for you, child of the cosmos. Ooh, I just got the chills. The intelligence of the universe lies within you. That's beautiful. That is a gorgeous card. Can we just admire this for a moment? Look at that. The intelligence of the universe lies within you. Wow. I feel like for some of you, that could be like galactic activations as well, like receiving energy downloads, having activations from your galactic family. Your spirit guides, your archangels, your galactic family, they're not allowed to do things without your consent or your permission. So I would encourage you, if you got the chills too, especially, take a moment to maybe tonight or, when you have a spare moment, to really give it your honest, time and consideration. If you're wanting help or a new idea to materialize, or you want to see this transformation start happening, ask for a sign, a deliberate sign. Ask that your intelligence be upgraded. Ask for energy upgrades. Ask, for bodily upgrades, Don't be afraid to ask for those things, because literally some people also will say that they are afraid of their spirit guides. Spirit is also channeling this one to me too, that some of you just need to hear it. People are afraid of their spirit guides, and there's nothing to fear. They only are there to help. Literally, they're never going to be like, oh my gosh, you did these things wrong and now we don't want to help you and we don't love you. It doesn't work like that. They always are wanting to be close by, to help you, to understand you, to love you, and to assist you. You just simply have to ask. So that is what I have for you, pile number one. Lots of financial abundance coming through. Okay. I'm very excited for you. And I hope this message sits well with you. I hope that you got something out of it. And please remember, when you stand up in your own authenticity, you empower everyone around you to do the same. All the cards will be linked down below, as well as the candles that I use if you're interested in getting them for yourself. My podcast is down below. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I'm at Kloee Taylor, especially coming up to this Aries new moon on Instagram. I don't know about TikTok yet, but I do have some stuff planned for Instagram. So definitely make sure you're following. And if you feel called to do so, if the message resonated, it is never an expectation, but always appreciated. I have my Cashapp, Venmo, and PayPal listed down below. I do accept tips for my readings, and those of you that choose to do that, thank you so much. I do pour it back into the channel, and I really appreciate it. I love you all so, so, so much, and I will speak to you again soon, my pumpkins. Bye. Hello there, pile number two, and welcome in to your reading. So if you chose this pile, you chose the pink candle, and pink candles actually represent love, romance, innocence. They also can talk mostly about self-love, is my personal understanding. That's whenever I am doing like an intention candle just for myself, by myself, and I want more self-love, I always reach for a pink one. I will say that you can set any intention that you want to with this. Pink also does correspond to the heart chakra. So pink and green technically correspond to the heart chakra. And pink, I would argue, though it is not set in stone, pink to me is a very like Venetian color. Like it's very in tune with Venus. And with Venus, the two signs that are ruled by Venus are going to be Libra and Taurus. Now, Libra and Taurus, neither one of them, I believe their colors are pink. Like that's just not necessarily the colors that correspond to them. Taurus, I know for sure is green. Libra, I think I would actually have to look it up, but I would include those two signs because of that Venus pull. Both of them are ruled by that planet. So, it could be that you are a sun, moon rising in Libra or Taurus, or you're wanting to attract that, or you're just wanting to attract more self-love. So what I ask from you today is that you place your hands, your left and right hands, over your heart, or one on your heart, one on your stomach. We're going to take 3 deep belly breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth together. And I just want you to focus on an intention that you're really wanting to call into your life right now, because as you kind of shift that focus to your heart center, it brings you into full alignment with what you're asking for, because love is the highest vibrational frequency that we as humans can attune our energy to. So go ahead and place your hands wherever they feel comfortable. I mean, it doesn't have to be where I've suggested. That's just what I would suggest. So go ahead and place your hands where they feel comfortable. And we're just going to take 3 deep breaths, big, deep belly breaths. You want your belly to expand as you do this. In through your nose and out through your mouth, and we'll do it together. So just focus on that intention. And if you have a hard time imagining, go ahead and just come up with like an I am statement, or like I am attracting love. I am attracting more self-love. I am calling in self-love, whatever it might be. I forgot to say that in pile number 1, but if you have a hard time imagining something, you can use I am statements as well. Just like thinking them or even saying them in between breaths. But let's go ahead and just take those 3 deep breaths in. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and light this with our enchanted lighter here, and we're going to see what happens. So I do feel like the wick did not move. A lot of times, like I think in pile number 1, the wick actually curved in towards itself. So I actually feel like right now you really are in good alignment to receive this. There isn't necessarily like, don't get me wrong, I feel like shadow work is something that everybody needs and it's a continuous process. But I feel like you are in a really good place to bring in what you've asked for currently. And this flame, I would say, is a pretty good, decent size. It's burning strong. straight up. There's not a lot of wiggle going on with it. And this to me just again confirms that you're really in alignment with what you've asked for. So that's awesome. I'd love to see that. I feel like we very rarely see that on the channel. Usually it's like, oh no, the candle went out, or like she went crazy. But no, this is awesome. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put this candle up here for you, and we're going to see what the cards have in store. So we're going to start with these first 4 cards. We have for you Judgment, the Ace of Swords, the 7 of Cups, and the 4 of Wands. Beautiful. So let's go ahead and lay these out for you. Okay, so with these 4 cards, really what I'm seeing, or the first thing that like really spoke to me, is in order to start loving yourself more or attracting more love, you have to start acting in a way that honors who you are. And some of you might already be doing this, but some of you, I feel like maybe don't always speak your full truth because you have a fear. It's very common, so don't beat yourself up about it. It's very common to have a fear of abandonment. That's something that all of us innately, to some degree, have fears of abandonment. It's very primal for us to have those fears, and it really connects us to that primal part of the brain where, you know, back when we were hunter-gatherers, we needed tribe to survive, and that still has not really evolved with the current times, and we will often fear abandonment from our tribe or from our people. So with this Ace of Swords, though, you're being told to really speak your truth and be as authentic as you can stand to be, which I believe in living like a radically authentic life personally, but, you know, really honoring yourself. So this could also be about your throat chakra and really opening that up more. Maybe some of you have a fear of really speaking the things that you believe or are about into existence because maybe people have silenced you. Maybe you've been surrounded by people that don't or haven't always agreed with you, or you have parental figures that don't want to hear it. You know, I do want to say this from the standpoint of your safety. You know, I can sit here and I can tell you from the spiritual side of things, you know, speak your truth, honor your truth. But also, if it's unsafe for you to do so at this time, I would highly encourage you to, you know, do what is correct for you, because everybody's situation is different. And I channel in a lot of messages at once. So some of you might be in situations where it's not safe for you right now to do that. But, you know, speak to yourself. Speak. Even if it's just you telling you your own truth, don't let other people dim your own inner light, your own inner truth. So the thing is, though, with the Ace of Swords and Judgment coming out, especially in this deck, I feel that Judgment in this deck is very much, it's about singing your song to everybody who will listen, right? It's about being very boisterous, and she's doing that. She's singing and praising out her song out over this cliff to anybody that will hear. And the beautiful thing about this is, even though you might be really afraid to do it, and it might be very scary, whatever it is that you're wanting to talk more about or open up about, you're going to be celebrated for it, because the 4 of Wands is literally a card of celebration. It is a card of having people around you that support you. It's having a foundation on which you can build on top of that is a good foundation. It's very like you're rooted in the right things. And the 7 of Cups says all you really need to do is pick something and go with it. It seems like right now you might be feeling really overwhelmed with options, or like opportunities, or if it's not options or opportunities, you also could be overwhelmed with fears, different fears of different things. And Spirit is inviting you at this time to either make some kind of a decision that you feel like really honors you, or you know, carve out some time. I'm getting a big shadow work vibes from this reading, and I don't know why, because none of these cards really say that. Oh no, it's coming. I see some of the cards that are next. I was like, I'm getting big shadow work vibes, and I don't know why. Spirit is really like, listen, tell them. So but if this is like multiple things that you are afraid of, Spirit is really inviting you at this time to start to do the shadow work. And if many of you are confused on what that means, gosh, I can't wait until I have the time to create everything I want to for you all, because I feel like what we do here is fantastic, but I want to actually provide you all with resources to actually do things that align with the readings that we talk about. I would love to design some like journal prompts for all of you with shadow work and like where to start, because I know that that can be really confusing if you don't know where to start. But Spirit is really saying, like, just even if it's like a digital journal and you're just using the notes on your phone, or on your tablet or what have you, and you're just kind of typing into that, that will be totally fine. Or just some sheets of paper if you have access, or on your laptop or wherever. But Spirit is really saying to start dismantling these fears, because they're holding you back. They're holding you back from being able to be supported, be celebrated, to not be abandoned by people, and to really living through your full potential. And so if that sounds like something you feel like you need to start getting into, the shadow work, I would highly encourage just looking up, even on like Pinterest, shadow work journal prompts and seeing what comes up. Hopefully in the future, I will be able to design something on that for you all, because that's something I'm very interested in, but at this time I don't have it. So, but really getting into speaking your truth and having people around you that support you, like, you have everything you need to go forth on that. And if it's something you need to choose to like start talking about, maybe you're somebody that has like a heavily influenced air sign charts, and so your mind is always everywhere. that's air sign life for you, okay? I'm a Gemini moon, and it really do be like that. But when you kind of just have your mind everywhere and you don't know exactly what you stand for, you don't know exactly what your inner truth is, you're not really sure, this is really Spirit saying, you have to take some time out for yourself to figure those things out. And that's honestly the self-love that you need to start providing for yourself, because it's leaving you confused by not doing it. And we also have for you, it's time to release negativity. I don't know why I said it like that. We also have a personal issue reaches a resolution. So it's time to release negativity. This is all about shadow work. Full moon in Scorpio. A personal issue reaches resolution with full moon in Cancer. And confidence is your key to success with new moon in Leo. So with it's time to release negativity, this to me is very much the shadow work. This is why I was like, oh, it's coming. This is the shadow work. And we actually have a full moon in Scorpio coming up in tropical astrology. I want to say on like the 26th of April. Don't quote me on that, but I probably will have a podcast episode about it. So I don't know why my podcast is coming up so much today, like shameless self-plug, but if you're not listening to my podcast, season 2 airs next week, and we're going to be diving into more of that like new moon, full moon stuff. So definitely check it out if you haven't done so already. Link down below. It's available literally everywhere. But with it's time to release that negativity, it might be good to do like a burning ritual. Obviously, be safe with fire. I don't want to hear from parents that y'all lit your house on fire. Be safe. Have an adult with you if you are not able to burn things on your own. But with full moon Scorpio, it might be a good time to do that on the full moon in Scorpio. Just burn, like write a list of things that doesn't really resonate with who you want to be anymore, how you want to speak about yourself or others, and burn it. It's like a really great release ritual. A personal issue reaches resolution. Spirit is really saying that something you've maybe been concerned about with opening up more, especially if it involves your family. Like those of you that maybe don't have super supportive family members, or they haven't been open to hearing you speak in a certain way, Spirit is confirming that either they are going to become more open, or maybe you are going to be removed from a certain situation. There is definitely some freedom that is coming your way with this, and something will blow over. And with confidence is your key to success, this to me is just reiterating, speak your truth, speak it loud, speak it proud, and just be confident in the words that you're saying. Now, I know I could yell at you all day, every day to be confident, and like, you can't just turn that on and off like a light switch if it's not something that you're used to. But I promise you, as you dive into yourself with that shadow work, the confidence is going to come naturally. It does every single time. I can give you personal accounts of that. I can give you friends' personal accounts of that. This is why so many people in the spiritual community are up everybody's ass about shadow work and meditation, because this stuff works. Just gotta put it out there bluntly. Okay. I'm sorry. Don't come for me. I don't shoot the messenger. Spirit is just like, you really need to get into that practice. Now, I do have a few romance cards for you as well. For those of you that were asking about maybe romance, you actually got 3 cards. Nobody else did, but an extra one fell out. So for you, we have wedding. Love that. We have make an effort. And we have you deserve love. So I feel like I'm hearing this phrase that's coming out with this one, where maybe you're somebody that has said, or you used to say, or like your words are really powerful. Pile number 2, you need to understand that the way that you speak about yourself, this might be something that you're actually very gifted in. You might have like the gift of gab. And because of that, your throat chakra needs to be more protected, and you need to watch how you talk to yourself, especially those of you that are air sign moons or have like dominant air sign placements in your natal charts. You need to be very careful with your voice. I would say this applies to Taurus too, because Taurus also rules the throat, but like your words literally can create love or can create hate. And I know that that's true of everyone, but like something about your voice and your words are more powerful. Like that's a gift that you have. Spirit is telling me that it is a gift. If you chose this pile, your voice has power, and you need to start speaking to yourself in a way that mirrors that. Because if you've just been telling yourself like, I'm not shit, I'm not worthy, I can't have this, it's not in the cards for me, why do I even try? I know it's hard to start undoing those things if it's how you've been taught to speak to yourself, but just take one of those things and shift it into something else, start to work at it. But with you deserve love, make an effort, and wedding, some of you might actually be about to get married. Like maybe you're already engaged, or you're planning to elope, or something of that nature. I feel like some of you, there actually might be an upcoming wedding, or maybe there's a wedding that you're just going to be a part of. With make an effort and you deserve love, I feel like we can talk about this in 2 ways. Number 1, this is about making the effort for yourself. This is about making the effort to not accept less than you deserve. It's a very common thing that we will accept the love that we think we inherently deserve. So if you think you deserve less, you'll accept less. Like, just always expect that you deserve to have someone make the effort for you. And also, don't be afraid to make the effort when it applies. And with you deserve love, this is just a confirmation to me from Spirit saying, hey, stop telling yourself you're not worthy and you don't deserve it, because you do. You are lovable. It literally says that. There is nothing inherently wrong with you. There is literally nothing. You are special and beautiful just for being exactly who you are in this present moment. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to become something. You don't have to have a certain skill or a trade. You don't have to go to a certain school and get a certain degree. You don't have to have a certain job. You don't have to have a certain number of kids. You don't have to be married to a certain kind of person. You are literally lovable in this current present moment. There is nothing inherently wrong with you. And I feel like for some of you, maybe that's part of your shadow work. You feel like there is something inherently unlovable about you, but there isn't. You are so lovable. Now, we also have for you, communicate clearly. Oh my gosh, this whole reading for you has literally been about like how you communicate. That's funny. We also have if you believe. So again, this to me is also confirming like your voice has power. Your voice might even be part of your own psychic gift. Like you are someone, like especially those of you that have, again, air placement moons or maybe major Taurus placements. To me, that is a strong indication in a natal chart of having a voice that is very, especially like Mercury too, like certain Mercury placements, I feel like can be an indication of that. But your voice is a gift, and it could be a speaking voice, a singing voice. Maybe it's a soothing voice to people around you. Something about your voice is a gift though. And if you believe, this is literally just saying like the only thing you have to do is start to change the way that you believe about yourself. This whole reading to me has really been about that. Is that like you can have whatever it is that you desire and whatever you've asked for. It's just about taking the steps to actually make change. I can tell you in this reading, I can get guidance from your spirit team all day, every day. But until you actually make some kind of move on this, nothing's going to change. You know, we don't wake up one day and believe something differently. We have to work at those things, especially if we've been conditioned over and over and over again to believe things a certain way. And these last two cards come from your galactic family. I channeled from your galactic family. We have Inner Earth. You'll survive this. New solutions and new beginnings. Ooh, I love that. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful card too. We also have for you Star Brothers, Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, and trust. So Spirit also wants you to know it's safe for you. It's safe for you to be heard. It's safe for you to be seen. Again, as I stated up here, that, you know, some of you might not be in safe situations, but there is somebody that you will be able to go to where it is safe. And it could be a brother. It could be an actual physical brother. But protection, loyalty, safety, and trust is... I feel like many of you maybe have been living in a little bit of fear. And it really is true that a lot of times we will fear success. We will fear being our greatest version of self because somebody taught us that we needed to dim to fit in. And you don't. It is safe for you to be who you are, to say what you need to say. Again, you are not inherently unlovable. There is nothing inherently wrong with you. And with Inner Earth, you will survive this. New solutions and new beginnings. This is only the start, baby. This is just my little beautiful pumpkin. This is just the start. I feel like where you're going next, Spirit wants you to know that new solutions to problems that you thought were never going to be solvable are going to be coming to you. And that it's time for a new beginning for you. It's time for you to take your life into your own hands and speak your desires into existence and watch them materialize. Because we're in a new chapter, all right? Especially coming into Aries season. My goodness, this Aries new moon is going to be fire. And I'm excited for everybody to experience it. But please, 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 pile number 2, do not forget to claim your blessing. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram, on TikTok, on my podcast. All my links are down below. Do not forget, when you stand up in your own authenticity, you empower everyone around you to do the same. And if you feel called to do so and the reading resonated, it is never an expectation, but always appreciated. I have my Cashapp, Venmo, PayPal listed down below. I do accept tips for my readings, but again, I don't expect them. I love you all so much, my pumpkins, and I will speak to you again soon. Bye. Hello, my beautiful pile number 3s, and welcome into your reading. If you chose this pile, you chose the yellow candle. Yellow candles to me really correspond to the element of air because that's usually what they will stand in if you are doing like an elemental calling the corners kind of thing. So this we can correspond to the air signs of the zodiac, which is going to be Gemini, Libra, and oh my goodness, Aquarius, duh, and Aquarius. So it could be that you are a sun, moon, rising in Aquarius. Maybe you have major Aquarius in your charts, or you're trying to attract an Aquarius. This is also about having clearer communication. If you have maybe you have like a hard conversation coming up, something that you need to communicate on. This is a good time to set intention for that. Yellow also to me is like, I guess you could say like sunshine. So if you've been looking for more like joy, more positivity, that's like another good thing that maybe you would want to use a yellow candle for. You can choose to set any intention you would like to, but let's go ahead and put your left and right hands. So either both hands over your heart or one on your stomach and one on your heart. And you can place your hands wherever. This is just merely a suggestion. The reason that I tell you to do this is because the heart chakra right under that, where your hand is over your heart, that is number 1, the conduit between your upper and lower 3 chakras. So you're like channeling right at the center, but it also helps you to bring whatever intention you're setting into your life with perfect alignment, because love is the highest vibrational frequency that we as humans can attune our energy to. So that's why I always say to do that. We're going to take 3 deep breaths in this time, big deep belly breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. You can choose to imagine in first person this intention coming true for you, a successful conversation, you just feeling a lot of joy, whatever it might be. And if you have a hard time imagining, you can come up with an affirmation that you can either say in your head or out loud, like, I am filled with joy, I am happy, I radiate sunshine, I communicate clearly, people respect the way that I communicate, things like that. But let's go ahead and take those big 3 deep breaths in together. So in through the nose, out through the mouth, and you want your belly to expand as you do this. So okay, beautiful. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and light this for you with our enchanted lighter and just see what happens. Ooh, that flame got dark real quick. She popped back up though. She popped back up. That's the important part, is that she didn't just go out. But I definitely feel like maybe many of you do feel like you either can't speak or there isn't a lot of joy coming into your life right now. But Spirit is really saying, with this flame growing in height, literally as I'm speaking, that the joy is coming. I do feel like in Aries season, a lot of us are going to be feeling lighter than we have, especially coming out of Pisces season. Now, if you are a dominant Pisces in your charts, Pisces season might be easier for you, but many of us, I feel like, that are not dominant Pisces in our chart, Pisces season can be, oh my God, how many times can I say Pisces? Pisces season can be very hard, as it is the final sign in the zodiac before we start brand new in Aries season. So taking stock of old things, letting go of old things, and getting ready to kind of be born again in a very metaphorical sense. So many of us maybe have been going through it in Pisces season, but Spirit is saying that, you know, things are only going to get better from here. So we're going to go ahead and put this candle up in the corner for us so we can kind of see it. And then let's take a look at the cards. So right off the bat for you, pile number 3, we have the Page of Cups, we have the King of Swords, we have the Ace of Cups, and the 5 of Cups. Wow. A lot of cup energy going on. It's really interesting. Okay, let me lay these out and then we'll talk about it. We will tiggity talk about it. Okay, so pile number 3, does somebody hurt you? I'm saying that because the King of Swords and the 5 of Cups coming out at the same time, I feel like somebody isn't allowing you to express your authentic truth, or maybe they feel like you are too much or you are too emotional, or maybe you've been told that like you're too sensitive or something of that regard. I feel like somebody has said some things to you that maybe just were not the kindest, and it's left you feeling very down on yourself and not able to see the good qualities that you inherently have, because somebody is feeding you this line of bullshit, basically, that you are not good enough, or your communications aren't good enough, or you're not, like, I'm really getting this deep sense of like not good enough, not worthy, not feeling worthy, when you have such beauty inside you, like literally, I think externally and internally, because we have the Ace of Cups and the Page of Cups coming out. And both of these, the Ace of Cups to me is somebody that, they definitely gain a lot of their power from their emotions. And that I feel like is you. You might be somebody that is really more emotionally in tune to others. You could be a highly sensitive person or an empath. And with the Page of Cups, you create like really beautiful things from this. Like from your emotions, you create things that are so beautiful. You might even be someone that likes to paint your feelings or paint the things that come to your mind. And I feel like this King of Swords right in the middle of all of this cup energy is like a slap to the face. It's very, hard edge. I mean, it's the King of Swords, but it's very like, don't get me wrong, I do think the King of Swords can be compassionate, but that's definitely not what they deal in specifically. They definitely are more of a logic, floating head kind of energy. Very, especially when it's like a low vibrating King of Swords, we can get someone that is very like puffed up, very, honestly, very aggressive. And I feel like maybe somebody has been that way with you. They've kind of made you feel like you shouldn't speak, that you care too much about people or animals or other things. And you fill your head with nonsense, and they live in the real world, but you don't. And like, those are things that maybe have been said to you. Like, I feel like I'm getting like directly downloaded messages. Like I can hear this person in my head and they are not nice. Like they don't have your best interests at heart. And it could be a father figure. I am sensing that it is most likely a masculine presence, but it definitely doesn't have to be. This could also be a feminine presence as well. But ultimately, Spirit wants you to know that you are given these divine gifts because you're meant to make something beautiful with them. And don't let this person take from you any more than they already have. Because number one, we also have these two doves up here that I'm just noticing in this Ace of Cups. And I feel like Spirit is really trying to say that, like, you know, birds of a feather flock together, right? I feel like there are people that will appreciate who you are and what you have to say and where you come from. I mean, in my own personal life, I try to only give personal accounts when I feel like they could help someone. I try not to make every reading all about me, but I feel like in my own personal life, I am kind of like the black sheep of my family. And I think there's more than one, to be honest. I come from a really large family. There's like 7 kids, but I feel like I'm kind of the black sheep, and I have had to find family outside of what a traditional family sense is. Don't get me wrong, I have family members that are amazing and wonderful, and many of them, like even now, I've made better connections with as I've gotten older and have like basically come more into myself and become more self-confident. But I, for a long, long time, only felt like I had friendship circles that I could have as family. And Spirit really wants you to know that that's okay too. If this is somebody that like overrules you in a family system, know that there are other people that maybe you can't see them right now, but there are other people that will really relish in you and really relish in the things that you have to say, and like they will appreciate you for exactly who you are, and you won't even have to go searching for them. They will just show up. So we also have for you, nothing is yet set in stone. We have communication is key. Love that. And we have conclusions are within reach. So with communication is key, this is a new moon Gemini, which you, again, might be a Gemini or a major Gemini placement. Not necessarily, but just think that's interesting that we have the yellow candle, which yellow to me is Gemini's color, one of Gemini's colors. So very strong Gemini energy coming through. Nothing is yet set in stone with the mutable moon, and conclusions are within reach with the full moon eclipse. So with nothing is yet set in stone, I actually really like this card for you because it means that not that it's your job to change someone's perception of you, because it's not. It's not your job to go back and make them think differently of you. It's your job to build yourself back up and realize that who you are is fabulous, and not allow what someone's projection of who they think you are to be the thing that makes you who you are. Does that make sense? So with mutable moon, I do feel like there is a sense that for some of you, this person will come around as you continue to grow on your own path. And like for some of you, this person may never come around. And so I don't want to say it's everyone. It's kind of being split right now. But for some of you, I do feel like this person will come around eventually. They maybe won't always understand you or how you are, but they will at least come around to respect you a little bit more. With communication is key. This is, don't let the world or anybody, this person, don't let the world make you hard. Like that is something that's I personally have really lived my own life by. I feel like the only reason you're here listening to this reading, I talk about this a lot, is when you find a tarot card reader that you really resonate with, it's often because you've had similar experiences, or the way that they speak is like pleasing to you because you are like basically getting a healing from each other in a roundabout way. And so if this reading is resonating, I'm telling you, Juice, it's because I see so much of myself in this reading too. I know what these things feel like. I know what it feels like to really, like, that's been like my strength throughout like my adult life, is even when I've been told like I'm too sensitive or I have too many feelings, I've really clung to that. I won't let this world make me hard. I won't let this world make me love anyone any less. I won't. And I feel like that's really what Spirit is saying is, don't let somebody overthrow how you feel about the world. Know that that person, they look for bad in the world, and so that's what they see. You don't see that. You see the world through a different lens, especially if you are somebody that is either highly sensitive or an empath. You see the world through a different lens than other people. And I'm not saying that that makes you like, there are a lot of people that are empaths and highly sensitive people, but you see the world differently, and it's a gift. You have it for a reason. It allows you to get to the heart of matters with people easier and better. It might feel like a curse right now, but I promise you it's a gift. And with the conclusions are within reach, full moon eclipse, I feel like maybe you're starting to realize that. We have this Five of Cups. I think it's really funny that I laid it out like this because I kind of read it from left to right, but when I pulled the cards out, they went the other way. So that's just Spirit to me telling me we're going this way. So you might come across those troubles on your way, or you might feel defeated along the way, but ultimately leading into a Page of Cups, the more you dive into yourself, the more you allow yourself to authentically express your feelings and yourself, even if it's to a canvas, to a cat, to one other person that you really trust. The more that you allow yourself to kind of come out of your shell and communicate those things, the more beautiful and honestly fulfilling I believe that your life is going to start to feel with those conclusions coming. So I do have a couple of romance cards for you. We have pay attention to red flags. So this could also be a partner that has been doing this. And we have soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. So here's something I also need you to understand about soulmates. We can have multiple soulmates throughout our life, and soulmates don't necessarily mean that they are our forever. I think people will link words like soulmate or twin flame and, oh my gosh, it's forever now because this, but especially when it comes to soulmates, you can have multiple. Your best friend can be your soulmate. Your mom can be your soulmate. Your brother can be your soulmate. Your lover can be your soulmates. But know that we have multiple soulmates. Soulmates to me are somebody that we have a soulbound contract with. That's sometimes they can be karmic in nature. Usually in my experience, soulmates are there like you wanted them there for a good reason. As you like incarnated to meet this person. So this is a big part of your soul growth. This person, even if they are hurtful and you like never want to speak to this mother effer again, like they're here to help you see parts of yourself that maybe you inherently feel you need to shut down. But those parts of you are actually going to rise up and become stronger because you're not going to allow it to happen. And with pay attention to the red flags, this to me is about like, if you are in a committed relationship and somebody is constantly tearing you down a peg, pay attention to that. I'm not saying that you're breaking up tomorrow, but really pay attention to that. Pay attention to those red flags because this might be somebody you don't want to stay with, or pay attention to the red flags in how you allow others to speak about you in your presence, because boundaries can be really difficult. They can be hard to lay down because people will provoke them. I promise. People only get mad when you lay down a boundary because they have benefited from you not having them. But the more you insist on that boundary, the better. So this might even be about boundaries. Like notice the red flags, notice how other people speak about you to you in your presence, and, assert the boundary. Even if it's hard, even if your voice shakes. Now we also have there's something better, and we have within the next few months. So some of you, I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, But you know what? It's not bad news. It's good news. Some of you in relationship terms, you're breaking up. Like, I feel it. Spirit is calling it. Now, obviously, that's not going to be every single person that chose pile number 3. You know, if I'm speaking to you, if this person exudes nothing but red flags. Like, some of you are breaking up because you deserve better. And it will be within the next few months. And you might even meet somebody else within the next few months. And with there's something better, this could also be pertaining to the people. Like I said, maybe this is family and you need to find your circle of people that accept you for who you are outside of the blood family line. So this could be friends as well. Soulmates that are friends that have come into your life for that reason. For some reason, I also feel like with this soulmate card, even though we didn't pull it, I'm hearing like the word karma keeps coming out. Like there are some of you that just have like karmic ties with someone, and it's not for you to necessarily go through and undo all this karma. It's to finish it out and then move on. And I feel like within the next few months, that's something that's going to be very much closed out for you. And with there's something better, there is like, just know that no matter what happens, there is something better. There is something better for you. There is someone better for you. There is a group of people better for you. And then lastly, I have a couple of cards that are channeled from your galactic family, which I really like doing these. I don't use these cards that often because I'm not going to lie to you, when it comes to like the alien talk, I feel like some people are super about it and some people are just not about it at all. I saw a really funny quote the other day, though, that granted, I don't care how you think. This is literally just meant to like, I thought it was funny. It made me laugh. I saw a quote from my niece the other day, and it said, denying that aliens exist is like putting like water in a spoon and saying that fish and whales don't exist because you can't see them. Like, we've explored so little of the ocean and so little of space. But when it comes to the galactic family, your starseed origin, your starseed family, I don't do a lot of these because, like I said, I feel like it's just not everybody's cup of tea, and I'm not here to be everybody's cup of tea, but I do feel like I'm still kind of shy about it. I'm getting there. Okay. I'm getting to the point where I'm wanting to express more, but, we have the 7 star sisters, birthing creations, tapestry of life, and expression. So some of you, when I said like paint your emotions, things like that, this is a good time for you to start doing something artistic with your feelings. And then we have earth pulsing, pulse of the mother, slow down, time in nature. So especially as we're coming into spring, if you are in the hemisphere that it is spring, obviously for some of you, it's not. But this is a good time to start earthing, earth pulse, like paying attention to the pulse of the earth. Earthing is where you put your feet on the ground outside, no matter what it's like. If it's snow covered, obviously be safe. I'm not trying to tell you to go out there and get frostbite. But reasonably, use your best judgment for yourself. If it's sand, if it's grass, that's preferable, or like some kind of greenery. If it's dirt, that's fine too. Be safe. Don't burn yourself. If something is like in the hot sun, wait for the sun to go down. Or clear a space for your feet if there's like a bunch of like things that would hurt your feet if they were bare on the ground, clear a space where it can be safe for you to stand. And this is a good time for you right now to really practice connecting with Gaia. That's honestly, if you're feeling emotionally overwhelmed or hurting, Gaia is like the best thing for you. And it sounds so simple, but I promise, step outside for like 90 seconds. 90 seconds, put your feet on the ground, not necessarily like concrete, like try to find like grass or something that is of nature. I wouldn't necessarily say concrete. Between a lot of these readings, I will go outside on my front lawn and stand on the grass because it helps me to rebalance my own energy, especially if any of the readings get really heavy. So I would highly encourage that. Your galactic family, I feel like, is really saying that they want to connect with you, but you need to also connect more with yourself first and realize that your emotions, you might have a heightened sense of emotional awareness or emotional intelligence. You have that for a reason. Maybe it's the key to helping you connect with that, or with them. And the 7 Star Sisters with Birthing Creations, Tapestry of Life and Expression. I feel that ultimately this, again, we have this page up here with this canvas, and I feel like it's been very significant throughout the whole reading. Create from your emotions. That's one of the best things you can do to channel that divine feminine energy. No matter how you identify, everybody has divine feminine and divine masculine energy within them. But connect with that divine feminine sense of birthing a creation, creating the tapestry of your life, and allowing yourself to have full expression, because many of you, I feel like, have not allowed yourself to express yourself fully because you're constantly being silenced by other people. So find an area where you can do that for you, and it will be a really big release, I think. So that is what I have for you, pile number 3. This is the message that your spirit team wanted you to have. I hope this reading sits with you and you are able to take something away from it. Do not forget to follow me on Instagram, TikTok. I'm at Kloee Taylor. Don't forget to claim your blessing. All the cards I've used are listed down below. And if you feel called to do so, it is never an expectation, but always appreciated. I have my Cashapp, Venmo, PayPal listed down below. If you would like to tip me for my readings, I certainly appreciate it, but it is never an expectation. And last but certainly not least, my pumpkins, please do not forget, when you stand in your own authenticity, you empower everyone around you to do the same. I love you so much, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.